Motorola claims that the Edge 30 is the world's slimmest 5G smartphone and India's lightest 5G phone in the segment. It measures just 6.79 mm in thickness and weighs just 155 grams. From the looks of it, Motorola has clearly prioritized the design of the Edge 30, but has it skimped on other areas in order to achieve this? Or does the Motorola Edge 30 deliver a good balance of form and function? Here's our review. The Motorola Edge 30 is all about design. Motorola has flattened the frame of the Edge 30 to keep up with current trends. However, the corners and edges of the body are still a bit rounded, which makes it easy to grip. The body of the Edge 30 is made out of polycarbonate in order to keep the weight down. The back panel is acrylic even though it looks like glass. It's flat and did pick up fingerprints rather easily, but you can use the bundled case to prevent this. The Motorola Edge 30 has a very good in-hand feel and did not cause fatigue even after using it for long durations. The camera module is identical to that on the Motorola Edge 30 Pro, including the sensors, which I'll talk about in a bit. Motorola has opted for a 6.5-inch POLED display with Full HD Plus resolution and 144Hz peak refresh rate. According to Motorola, the POLED panel helps keep the bezels narrow and allows the phone to be thinner. The Edge 30 sports Corning Gorilla Glass 3 for scratch protection and also has an IP52 rating for dust and water resistance. The display is crisp and had good viewing angles. Its refresh rate was set to auto by default, but you can lock it to 144Hz through the settings. Watching video content felt engaging and the stereo speakers did complement the display quite well. Those looking for a device primarily for media consumption would find the Motorola Edge 30 very interesting. The Motorola Edge 30 has an in-display fingerprint scanner, but it isn't the fastest one I've used. It occasionally took longer than necessary to authenticate my finger. Motorola has added a cool animation to sort of distract you while the scanner does its job. Face recognition was reasonably quick. The Motorola Edge 30 is powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 778G Plus SoC, which is an upgrade to the Snapdragon 778G that powers the Motorola Edge 20, its predecessor. The Edge 30 is available in two variants. Base variant with 6GB of RAM is priced at 27,999 rupees, while the other with 8GB of RAM is priced at 29,999 rupees. Both have 128GB of storage. On the software front, the Motorola Edge 30 runs Android 12 along with Motorola's custom MyUX interface. Motorola promises 2 years of Android OS updates and 3 years of security updates for the Edge 30, which should help it stay relevant in the years to come. It's good that we are starting to see long-term software support from Android manufacturers for their mid-range offerings too. The interface of the Motorola Edge 30 is clean and it only has the Facebook app pre-installed. Motorola has added useful features such as peak display, which allows you to check notifications right on the lock screen, and attentive display, which keeps the screen from turning off as long as you're looking at it. The classic Moto actions, which allow you to perform functions such as turning on the camera or flashlight using gestures, are also present. Motorola's Ready For feature lets you mirror the content on the smartphone wirelessly onto an external display or link it to a Windows PC. The Motorola Edge 30 did decently in benchmarks but lagged behind competing smartphones such as the OnePlus Nord 2 and the Mi 11X. It handled day-to-day tasks without any issues and could multitask quite easily. Call of Duty Mobile was fairly quick to load on the Motorola Edge 30 and it ran at the very high graphics setting with the frame rate set to high. It was playable without any issues, but the phone did get slightly warm and 8% of the battery drained with 20 minutes of gameplay. The Motorola Edge 30 packs a 4020 mAh battery, which is lower than the average these days. I was concerned about battery life at first, but the phone did last me about a day with my typical usage. In our HD video loop test, it didn't fare too well and ran for just 11 hours and 15 minutes with the refresh rate set to auto. The bundled 33-watt turbocharger was quick enough, charging the phone to about 60% in 30 minutes and fully charging it in an hour. The Motorola Edge 30 sports the same camera hardware as the Edge 30 Pro. It has a 50 megapixel primary camera with OIS, a 50 megapixel ultra wide angle camera which is also capable of macro photography, and a 2 megapixel depth camera. In comparison to the Edge 20, which had a 3x telephoto camera, the Edge 30 misses out on optical zoom functionality. Photos shot in daylight looked good, but weren't as detailed as I would have liked upon magnification. It also appeared that the camera app bumped up sharpness when pixel binning photos shot with the main camera. A photo shot at the full 50 megapixel resolution generally had better detail. The ultra wide angle camera also pixel binned photos to 12.5 megapixels by default, but was a notch below the primary camera in terms of quality. The camera did offer a wider field of view, but there was noticeable barrel distortion along the edges of each photo. Close-up shots looked sharp with good detail and adequate background separation. The camera app also suggested switching to the macro camera when I was close enough to a subject. Macro shots were detailed but had a warm color tone. Portrait mode photos had good edge detection, and I could set the level of background blur before taking a shot. Low light camera performance was decent, but the phone didn't manage to capture the best detail in the darker areas of the frame. Night mode made a significant difference, and the phone delivered a brighter image overall. Selfies taken with the 32 megapixel camera were binned to 8 megapixels by default. Daylight selfies looked natural with accurate colors and had good background blur in shots taken with portrait mode. Low light selfies with an adequate light source nearby turned out quite well. Video recording on the Motorola Edge 30 tops out at 4K for the primary as well as the selfie camera. The phone stabilized footage very well, and videos shot while walking around had no jitter in daylight. However, slight jitter in the footage was noticeable when shooting videos in low light. Motorola has clearly prioritized design over everything else with the Edge 30, and if design ranks high on your must-have list, you'll find the phone very appealing. Another area in which the Motorola Edge 30 continues to deliver the goods is in software. The UI is clean and free from excessive bloatware, and the promise of long-term Android updates from Motorola means the phone should age quite well. However, the Motorola Edge 30 isn't a major upgrade over its predecessor. The new Qualcomm Snapdragon 778G Plus SoC isn't a huge improvement, and the cameras are good for the price. The new Qualcomm Snapdragon 778G Plus SoC isn't a huge improvement. The cameras are good for the price, but the output, especially videos recorded in low light, is still a bit behind the Edge 30 Pro despite having similar hardware. Overall, the Edge 30 is a good choice for those who value design and prefer stock Android. If you are a power user who wants better performance, the OnePlus Nord 2 or the Xiaomi Mi 11X should suit you better. The newly launched iQOO Neo 6 is also shaping up to be a strong competitor to the Edge 30. So that was my review of the Motorola Edge 30. Now what do you think about this smartphone? Do let us know that in the comments down below. And as always, for all things tech, stay tuned to gadgets360.com.